Okay, I'm not frozen. I'm just kidding. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Boo! Here we are. Happy Monday. Monday. You can trust that day. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Nice to be back. As always, I'm David Burrows, your host for this week's episode of the show. The really big show for you today. We're going to have a nice discussion with a good friend of mine, Michelle Dion, who's nothing but positive. And we have a nice conversation. I'm going to dive right in today. But before I do, as always, I got to give a shout out to my friends at Hughes Intelligence. Thanks, Barry Bentley, Hughes Intelligence Security Specialist, not only supporting community things like the show, but many community events as well. Here in Signs, SWO, AG event group of companies supporting us here for 10 and a half years on the show. Guy, thank you so much. Visit them online at askguy.ca. Joe's Discount Tire. Make sure you got the right tires on. They're just at the bottom of the Indian Road overpass here in Sarnia. Go there, talk to them, tell them Dave Burrows sent you. Tourism, Sarnia Lambton, always been great community partners, and we're proud to have them here on the show with us. And then the latest, 2-4 Taxi, joining us here as a supporter as well. And we made that connection at the beginning of the summer, and I'm really grateful for all of my supporters' support, and that includes all of you who are watching. And of course, you can always go to my website, just at the top of the screen there. You can see it, theshowlive.live, in order to get some different updates on things you might not see right here. Join my mailing list there on my website, and some other exciting things coming down the pipeline. You're not going to want to miss out, and you'll only see it if you sign up for the newsletter. All right. As I said, I'm going to dive right in. Michelle Dion has had SarniaRocks.com for many, many years. She's always super positive. She's always sharing the love. And, she's just a huge community supporter and putting out lots of events that are happening. I can't keep track of it all. I'm glad that she does. I get some of my information from her. So we decided to have her back here on the show. It was back in June, I believe, that Michelle joined us here for a conversation. We had a nice conversation about the importance of self-care. What is that exactly? What do you do for self-care? Michelle actually kind of interviews me and asks me a few questions, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's take you to that interview right now. Here it is. It's always a pleasure to have this wonderful, smiling lady here. We've sort of agreed like every few months, so maybe 4 times a year we'll have you here. Now that we can get outside together, we're still due for that hug, right, Michelle?
Yes, absolutely. Funny you say that. So thrilled to be here. In my memories, within the last couple of days, my very first free hugs adventure, if you will, it happened in Mitten Village, came up in my memories. It was myself and my daughter and Jolly Fancy. She's a photographer here in town. We were standing in Mitten Village doing free hugs for suicide awareness.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I wonder if the community's ready for me to come out with my signs again. Like after COVID, it's always been in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
As free hugs come to an end. But then it's not like we rush people. Totally optional, right?
Yeah, right. It's an invitation. It's not. Yeah. I find that too. Like Jennifer and I had been out, Michelle, and it's like, we were just at a family reunion a few weeks ago, and even family was coming up, and then they just kind of go like this, and then they wait. Whereas before we used to just hug because we knew we could, but now it's okay. So
it's different on the other side of COVID, isn't it? I mean, even this summer, I was listening to John Tesh on the radio, and because I like listening to his stuff. And he was talking about how it's been such a big summer because the average person has been invited to at least 4 big events. And everything is like the wedding 2.0, the anniversary 2.0. So, everything's bigger and bolder and more guests and more bling, more cake, more everything. And it just is so different when we're coming with a different mindset of, do I want to be in that big of crowd? Do I want to be hugging? Do I want to wear the mask, not wear the mask? Whatever that looks like for you. So it's interesting that we're all doing it at our own pace, I hope. And
for sure. Well, it's our own choice now.
Right. And the comfort level, right? Yeah. And one of the things I'm happy about, whatever, is it's easier to say no. People don't give you a hard time if you're like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go. People don't, try to talk you into it. People are more understanding that
Yes, I think so.
maybe you're just not ready for that yet.
And well, the mask is always the controversial example, if you will. I still see lots of people out wearing a mask, and I'm okay with that. That's a choice. Like, it's fine. Wear your mask. I don't care.
That's right.
But it's certainly brought true colors out, I think, on people's feelings, etc.
Yeah.
And everybody's got an opinion, and all that stuff. My dad used to say, you're entitled to have your opinion, son, and as long as you want to keep being wrong, you can go right ahead.
Wise words.
Well, in other words, it was his house, right? My castle.
House, my rules.
My castle. Roof over your head. Yeah. So, but I like to think, though, that we've learned a lot. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of emotions flying out there. Still is.
Yeah.
But through all of this, though, like, I mean, you're the positive, super positive Wonder Woman. Super positive Wonder Woman. You can have that name if you want.
I could put that on a shirt. I like that.
Right? Super positive Wonder Woman.
That also is human and has her moments.
Yes.
Right. And this is the reality. And it's interesting. I love what you just said about positive things that have come out of COVID. Appreciation of having time together, appreciation of people, appreciation of services. I'm pretty low maintenance, but people who are high maintenance with like hair care, nail care, they sure appreciated
not me.
when everything opened up. And then I think also appreciation for self-care. And, when we had that time, the 2 years of being it, or whatever that timeline looked like for you, I think a lot of us were sort of forced to get to know ourselves a little bit better.
Oh, wow. Like, you nailed it right there. I know I did a lot of reflecting, and I'm a pretty social guy. Anybody knows me. I like to go out and I like to have fun and meet people and do all that stuff. And a lot of what I do is very social. And I really didn't have a problem with it. I really didn't.
Good.
I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, yeah, there were times like, wish I could do that. I just found other stuff to do.
Exactly.
In my home. And, oh, hello, wife. Right? Like, we got to get to know each other a little bit better. I mean, over time, it just became a habit.
Right.
But in the beginning, it was just like, well, how many movies can we watch today? or what are we going to talk about? Or we could still go for a walk, at least,
Yeah, and a lot of people that got out and got active said they talked to neighbors they'd never met before, but they'd been neighbors for 20 years.
Totally.
Right? Yeah, so amazing. And so I think all of us as individuals have decided to take the things from self-care that we enjoy and carry them forward, because at the end of the day, whatever is going on in your life, if you're not caring for yourself, how can you possibly care for other people?
Right.
Right. A good example of that is when you're on an airplane and they're giving you the instructions about the masks, the oxygen masks that come down.
Right.
Who didn't tell you to put the first one on? Yourself.
Right.
How can you help the other people if you're not getting the fresh air?
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same with self-care, and it's different for everybody. For some people, it might be meditating and having a nap. I love my naps. I don't know what's wrong with these 3-year-olds, because I love my naps, but it might be something like that, reading a book, sitting in the garden, or it might be something like getting out and shopping, or Netflix and chill, or a craft, or any sort of activity. Random acts of kindness. That's one of the things that I do for self-care. And it's twofold. I'm giving and I'm getting, right? Like, for you, what do you do for self-care, Dave?
Oh, wow. Mentally, I don't know. I guess I enjoy watching like positive videos, like a John Tesh. I've got a few that I watch on YouTube. I like to read. Good
what about when
books.
you're
I
writing?
don't read like story books.
Okay.
I read, like, well, here's a list. Right.
Awesome.
Right. And I've got a whole bookshelf there that I reread a lot. I did a lot of reading in the pan. And I think I just look around for things to do. And, like I'm here in my studio, there's a whole other side there that it's probably time for a cleaning, or I just don't stop. In fact, I'm one of those people, I have a hard time going to bed because I have a hard time shutting my brain off because I'm always thinking about the next thing or whatever. Jennifer gets annoyed by it sometimes, but, I just spending time with, my son lives here with us, so we'll spend time with him. How's he doing? Helping him with life as much as he'll let me, and Jennifer, and we talk careers, and so I mean, it's just conversation.
Yeah. One of the things I think of with you is like your family bike rides.
Oh yeah.
That is such a that's got to be something that makes your heart hum, or even your bike rides on. Like you're in tune with nature. You're doing
and it's funny you say that because we Jason rides, I ride, and so does Jennifer, right? So those bike rides, and we weren't able to do it for a while because Jason was working a different job and he worked nights all the time.
Okay.
And then when we got to do it, and we were just saying the other day, like, we haven't done that yet. Now he's at a different job, but now he comes home, he's working a hard job, he's tired. Right? It's like, but weekends and stuff. Yeah. And just getting out of the house really is, I have a hard time staying home.
Right. But it's so nice when you can make memories with your family. Right?
Oh yeah.
They're going to remember that for long after we're gone. Your son is always going to cherish those moments.
Yeah. And we travel. Jennifer and I like to travel more and more as we get older. And
you did your big trip. That was amazing.
Yeah. So, and on the motorcycle, I went to Nova Scotia and back.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was so, I'm so grateful for the other two gentlemen that I went with because they pretty much led the way. I just went, sure. And, I took my drone and I've got tons of footage and that. So, yeah, I guess, self-care, just, that's the mental side of it, right? Is I keep this working.
Exactly.
When this stops, everything else falls apart too. The physical side, I think, right?
For sure.
I don't exercise as much as I should.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be honest, but we're working, Jennifer and I are working towards that, So I don't know. And I never really thought about it, Michelle. I never thought of it as self-care. It's just who I am, what I do that makes me stay positive and tick. And I'm a pretty positive guy, but I'm human. Like,
well, one of the things I've noticed about you is you're sharing your positivity more. You're sharing it in your posts, and like whether it's a quote with your picture on it, or just even popping in saying hello, or and so this is where it's so important that we're making those positive ripples in the world. You never know.
Yeah, and I always believe in impact.
Yes,
that's always been a big word for me. And those quotes. Funny you say that because I used to do a lot more of that. And then I didn't for a while, and I was like, why am I not doing that? Because somebody out there needs to hear that.
That's
how I use my Facebook and my Instagram. Somebody needs to hear that. Somebody just needs to know you matter. Even though that's like a really cliche quote that we have, I think it's a really important one. I say it when I talk to people. I was out at the car thing at the park the other day, and I was talking, and I said, well, I'm going to keep walking. Thanks for your time. And just so you know, so-and-so, you matter. And they went, thanks, Dave. How hard was that?
I so love that. Yeah. And again, twofold. You feel good, they feel good, and they're going to carry that with them, right? Yeah. So
what do you do for self-care?
So I like to do some things alone. Like I have a jet tub, which I love. I like to sit out on my little back deck, which is like big enough for one chair. So it's me speaking to my people, also known as the squirrels, that we have a love-hate relationship with. So I like to sit out there. My tie-dye puts me in my end zone, right? So that's something that I do. And then I also like to do random acts of kindness. So whether it be, that I'm going through Tim Hortons and I buy the person behind me a coffee, or, sharing a smile, waving at strangers. Some of my friends think I'm nuts, but I'll wave at somebody that's just like out by themselves. Have a nice day. I keep driving.
Yeah.
Like, what's with the chick? But it's sharing a smile, right?
Yeah.
Like, something like that. And one of the things that I also like to do is to support local. And, it's tough supporting local because we are in times where there's so many big box stores and we have access to some things, but other things are harder to get to without supporting the big box stores or getting things online, right? We're sort of in an interesting time right now, but going to like vendor sales. I'm not a shopper as far as like, I can't even tell you the last time I went to Lambton Mall, but I love going to like church sales, vendor, other things like that where I can support the community, share a smile, get something new and unique, that sort of thing. That's a great way to get in my Zen zone. And then if I can do it like with my daughter, so then I'm checking multiple boxes, right?
Yeah.
And again, making memories is really important to me because I'm in the best time of my life right now.
Yeah.
I really am, right? Like in our age group, somebody posted recently, who's in our age group as well, about this is our golden years. And I thought, he's so right. It's not 20 years from now where maybe my body is acting a little differently than it is right now. It's right now when I'm ready, willing, and able. Yeah. I'm a Nana. I don't have little kids hanging off me that I can't give back. So I'm really enjoying that part. And I have, the freedom. My finances are different because I'm not supporting teenagers or kids or whatever. So I love being able to do things and to share. And, as much as we try, maybe not to online shop very much, one of the things that I've been doing that's really been giving me a kick, and I've been able to do it with other people, is like I have Amazon Prime, so I have free shipping. So one of the things that I did a few weeks ago was, without telling anybody except for my daughter, I sent my niece an adult coloring book, like it's got swear words in it.
Yep.
Because she swears a lot. Whatever, I'm not saying her name. So I sent her. It's like a relaxing coloring book that has swear words on it. So I got my daughter to
I need one of those.
secretly. Oh, maybe I'll get your address. So I got my daughter to secretly get her address, and then I ordered it, and it was only like $8, and it was free shipping. Right. And so we watched the tracking. We saw the picture. It was on her porch, and then we waited for her to try to figure out who the heck sent it, because they don't put a thing in there. So then she's messaging my daughter, and she's like, I don't remember ordering this, but I love it. And it took her like 24 hours before I finally sent her a picture of a kid coloring, and she figured it out. That brought me so much joy for $8. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And doing it with my daughter, because we're messaging.
And that was like a simple thing to do. Like, we tend to complicate things, don't we, Michelle? And we think, well, I need to be impressed, and I need a big fancy car. And don't get me wrong, I like a fancy car and all that, but like, I don't have to have it. Like, I can have it, but it's well, that kind of goes back to supporting local. Really comes to supporting local people as well. It's not just supporting local business, right? Like when I say, and thanks, John. And by the way, you matter. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
And somebody said to me the other day, where I was at the car thing at the park, and I said, well, I'm going to move on and go check out some of the other cars. And the gentleman looked at me and said, and thank you, Dave, for stopping and saying hello. It's always really a pleasure and a joy to talk to you. And I just thought it could have been, he could have just said, yep, okay, see you later. Yeah. But that's not how he ended it. So the next time I see that person, I'm going right over to him, right? And I play a game once in a while, and Pardon me. Maybe I'll challenge you on this one.
Okay.
So sometimes you you walk into a Tim Hortons, for example, or maybe Blackwater Coffee or whatever, a local spot.
Yeah.
And, some people hang out there and that's like their place. This is my Timmy's, my coffee shop. So when you walk in and maybe you're not a regular, like go to a coffee shop outside of Sarnia, go to Petrolia, Watford, something like that, and walk in and people tend to look at you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who's that? Do you know what I do? I walk right over. If it's so obvious they're staring at you,
yeah,
I walk right over and I go, "Hi, my name's David. How are you?"
Oh, I love it.
And they get like, hi. Especially when I'm out on the motorcycle, because people love motorcycles. And then, I've got a leather coat on and a helmet, and people look and go, "Oh, who's that?" Right?
Right.
And I just go, "Hi, how you guys doing today? You having a good lunch?" Or Jennifer thinks I'm crazy, but at the end of the day, what are they gonna do?
That's exactly right. That's it. And although I don't walk over and shake their hand, I do exactly the same thing. Yeah. I say hello. I'm a little loud.
I haven't been told off yet.
That's right. That's right. Nobody that I drove by and waved at has shot me the finger. They all go,
who's that crazy lady?
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
Stay crazy, Michelle. Stay crazy.
I wouldn't know how to be any other way.
Right.
Right.
Every day is a fresh start.
It is. Absolutely.
It's right above your head there.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. That's right. And so it's funny you mentioned that. These are all pictures from my grandchildren.
Nice.
So again, right, making me feel good. Every time I look at that, I'm like, oh yeah, Alice made that for me. Right. Or, whatever. And I think environment really matters. So, having yourself in an environment that you feel good. In my kitchen, some might think this is creepy, but in my kitchen I have, because you have all those pictures you collect over the years. Sure. So I made a big collage in the corner over my freezer. And when people pop over, I'll say, "Hey, come over here and look at yourself." It's all because I have like 9 siblings. It's them, it's friends from family, friends that are like family, some people I worked with over the years. And when I don't know if it's when, not even necessarily like if I feel alone or anything, but I just look and I smile and I laugh because I'm like, there's my sister, there's so-and-so that I worked with. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And it brings back those emotions, right? Because emotion recall is a real thing. Like when you think about a positive thing that happened in your life, it brings back the emotions that went with it. It goes the other way too, though. Right. Yeah. So if you think about, this is where sometimes we get sort of stuck in negativity, right? If you're thinking about something negative that happened, the emotions will come. So if you flip it and you think about like the moment your son was born and you held him for the first time, or the first time, or like you and Jennifer's wedding, right? You just had your anniversary. Happy anniversary. So you had your anniversary recently. So when you think about that and you think about like the day and the joy is such an important word, right? Whether it's in events or just, just being in that mindset of joy. And, last time I was thinking about the last time we got together and we were talking about appreciating our community. That attitude of gratitude, is a great way to have self-care. Just thinking about things you're grateful for, right? I'm so grateful we have the internet so we could do this. I'm so grateful that I met you 25, 30 years ago. And here we are. We're only 28. I know it's weird, but I'm so glad that like we're still in contact and we're still friends, and I'm so grateful. It's a beautiful day today.
Yeah.
Great. The sun is shining. It's good.
Well, I'm grateful for you, Michelle. If we're going to get all, blubbery and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much. And I hope you know that there's so many people in this community that really appreciate you and what you do with, SarniaRocks.com, right?
Yeah.
And I see your posts on Instagram. I see you've stepped into the Instagram world.
Getting better.
And I look and I, like I post a lot of things going on. And a lot of times I go, I'm going to just go to Michelle's Instagram. She's got more going on than I do. Oh, there's that. I didn't know. And then I share it.
Good.
So that's good. But you are appreciated very much in this
Okay.
community. So you just keep doing what you're doing. And I don't know why we haven't bumped into each other on the street, but
we will.
We'll have to. I'll buy you lunch. How about that?
There you go. I like food.
Right. Michelle, thank you so much. And thanks for giving me your time here today. Michelle Dion, very positive in our community. And you can visit her website at sarniarocks.com. She's also on Instagram now. And I'm sure that she would love to give you a free hug if you happen to see her on the street.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, David.
Thanks, Michelle. Michelle, can't wait to give you that hug. Super friendly Michelle. And if you see her, she'd probably give you a hug if you want one or need one. And she's going to continue to support the community and promote the community and keep spreading the love and the positivity. And remember the self-care, the importance of self-care. What do you do for self-care? Share this around. Click the like and the love button. But the most important thing you can do is click the share button so that my guests get the attention they need and deserve about their topics and their events, etc. So please take the time and share this conversation that I had with Michelle. It was a fun conversation, but I think it's a very positive but important one as well. So Michelle, I meant it. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing you soon in person. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, as always, everybody. But that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now.